Going live. 3, 2, 1. We're live. Hello and welcome to another today. We got a lot of great things to cover. Some looks at the market, some market news, and yeah.
But first, please don't forget to subscribe. Please, no, seriously, don't forget. Come on, push that like button, push the bell. Make sure to let everybody know that you want to hear more from us.
And don't forget, also like and share us on our other social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, LinkedIn. We're out there all over the place.
We have a lot of awesome content. And if you want to keep it coming, we need you to let us know that you want us to keep it coming.
There you go. All right. So quick look at the markets right now. Well, today we had a green candle, which is good. I mean, we've had 3 solid days of red.
It was like Shark Week out there.
It really was like Shark Week. What was it that you said before? Out of the blood, the
blood of yesterday comes the grass of today.
There you go. So
I don't know. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Not really.
But it was nice to see green today, and it was nice to see. It was almost like an enthusiastic green. It was like, okay, finally, and I think what happened was we reached a level. And people saw a good buying opportunity. As I've said all along, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you buy.
Right.
And so, as the market went red, people started buying. I think it hit about bottom. It started to recover. I do think there's a lot of money waiting to come back into the market. Again, I really believe that the market just needs to show some stability, and that money is going to come flooding in. I believe Bitcoin futures expire here soon. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those now that we've had that downward trend. I'm going to bet if people were betting on the other side that it would drop, that they might flip those positions, seeing as the market did have such a heavy correction.
But I think people are really wanting to get back in. They're wanting to put that trust back there, but there are so many things that are going around right now. They're just uncertain.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing that I don't know if this spooks the market or if it helps it a little bit. U.S. Feds, the Department of Justice, they've opened a criminal investigation into the possibility of prices of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies being manipulated. So if you're a trader in the stock world, that manipulation is illegal in the stock world. I mean, they've got all sorts of rules into place. If you're if you own a certain amount of stock, or if you own a certain amount in a public company, you can't trade. Yeah. You have
market flooding.
Yeah.
You can't distort the price of assets. There's lots of things in place
to
help protect
blackout zone. I forgot what they're called, but they're like blackout zones where you can't. So I remember when I worked for a company at one point, all of us that had options, we would get a notice anytime before news went out. It was like, okay, you can't sell during this period, and you're like, shit.
Well, and you saw the price of Bitcoin this morning dropped around 7,300 and closer to 74. But it was just a lot of the reports came out, and I know Bloomberg had a really big story, and I think a lot of people were reacting to that as well. So
I'm not huge on regulation. I don't want the governments to come flooding in here and regulate the market. I do, on the other hand, understand where there needs to be something in place. So it's but the problem is once you give governments the green light,
then they're all
to go in. Yeah. It's never they always pass these things. It's this is a temporary tax, or this is temporary that, and that's never the case. Once it's on the books, that's it.
Right.
And then opens the door.
Or it's greater than.
Yeah.
It's never less than.
And then opens the door. But at the same time, we all know we have the billionaire whales and mega millionaire whales out there, and they could just essentially, do what they want with the market.
They can, or they can, buy trading platforms. But the cool thing is, and one of my favorite with the Winklevoss, they do have that exchange, and they are trying to put in sensible regulations. And they're not trying to go crazy with it, but they do want to protect investors. And I think that's an important step that we need. I agree with the whole dysregulated market. I like the idea that people want this anonymous trade ability, but there has to be protections for people. And if we can't regulate ourselves, well, someone's going to have to help us do it.
Yeah, I mean, so the crypto world is kind of like the wild, wild west right now. And again, we've got these big whales that have billions of dollars, and they can just basically do what they want with the market. They FOMO everybody in up, they sell, they push it down, they buy low again, they FOMO up, and they just rinse and repeat. Right. And, like I said, I'm really on the fence on that one. I don't know. I really
would like to see some serious protections for those that are buying. And, who wants to open up your wallet and realize you've got nothing left? That is a horrible fear that a lot of people share.
Well, you mean being hacked?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's no protections when people hold these finances in certain areas. Now, that's not to say that these exchanges haven't put things in place. They have, but some have not.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Somehow I think the biggest blocker to mass adoption is just that. It's that
a sense of security,
some sort of sense of security, not necessarily against the whales and the market manipulators, but a sense of security somehow against the hacks and, your wallet being emptied overnight and not, if it's on an exchange.
I think it's a multi-pronged issue. I think people are afraid of being misled. I think people are afraid of losing everything. And I think people are afraid of just what tomorrow is going to bring. There's not a lot of stability, and people really want more stability.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do see the market somewhat stable. Even though we had this downtrend, we didn't drop straight down.
There's a good support that's been in place. And yes, we've dropped here and there, but the realistic line hasn't really moved that much.
Yeah. So we've been kind of stuck in this zone for the last few months. And, it's it is kind of a downturn. It depends on how you look at signals and things like that. I'm not really going to go into TA tonight. Like I said, I said if it dropped below 78, it would kind of fall straight down for a while and maybe get to 72. It stopped somewhere around 73 ish. So we got close there, and that's kind of what TA does. It gives you a guidance. It's not a perfect science, but it does give you some guidance.
And with us not being financial advisors at all, we're just giving you our best overview.
Yeah, and so now that it's hit that other area of support, we're going to see. I think it's going to build up. I think with futures expiring, I think the market could definitely run. And I do believe there's a lot of money sitting on the side just waiting to come in. I think there's a lot of institutional money. McAfee tweeted about that a little while ago, and then today he tweeted.
He did this morning. I woke up to the crystal ball of McAfee predicting the future, and there was some interesting information in there. So
yeah, I mean, he predicted 15,000 in June.
Hey, I'm all for it, but
I'm all for it. I don't know. I don't believe the market's going to recover that. Even if it's to the end of June, I still think that is a rapid. That's
perhaps
a double.
He's looking at some information that we're just not seeing, and maybe this adoption by some of the federal institutions is something that he's banking on, which would be fine with me.
Maybe, but that would essentially mean the market would double in about a month. And
I mean, look at the past. It's happened before. I mean, that's actually lower than some of the giant leaps it took in the past. So I guess it's not impossible. Would I put my eggs in that basket? I'm not sure, but
I think the market will start to recover within June. I just don't think it'll double. That's my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong, though.
You could. But I mean, it's happened before.
Yeah, it has happened before. But yeah, I do think that we're going to definitely see an uptrend. I just don't know if we'll see $15,000 by the end of June.
I am all for it. If it happens, I will be happy to celebrate with everyone. I'm not holding my breath. I like living.
Let's see some other news stories out there. Cryptocurrency and the allure of a cashless cannabis industry.
Full story. I mean, you've got a market that's completely saturated with cash, and yet nobody wants to take it. You can't just put it in the bank I mean, it's a huge issue. So where do you go?
I think cryptocurrencies are actually the solution to the cannabis industry right now. I know there's some coins out there for that. But, you know, if you live in a state where cannabis is legal, you know that, it's a cash only industry. And you also know that those businesses are not allowed. They can't write a check. They can't deposit checks. They can't use credit cards because banks won't touch them.
You're kind of screwed. You're walking around with the X amount of cash any point in time. And you know, there takes security. And there's a lot of things you have to put in place now because you're dealing with absolute cash. And that's not the way that these folks want to have to exchange business. So,
no, I mean, they have to have so much security around them. And, you know, their bank runs, they're bringing tens of thousands of dollars at a time just in a chunk of cash because they can't process anything because the government still sees marijuana as illegal, so they won't let the banking industries do it. So I think crypto is a perfect solution for the cannabis industry until the government gets off their ass and actually allows the people to vote and pass. If they would just allow a vote, it would pass.
Let's stop playing games. It's already around enough places. You've seen the benefits. You've seen what it does for the schools and the economy in general.
Yeah.
And why are we holding this up? Because a couple people think there's something funky about it. I'm sorry. Listen to your voters and you know, whole other story.
We need to have a cannabis channel for that.
Sorry. Maybe we'll start one of those. Okay.
But I do think that crypto is a perfect solution to the cannabis industry.
Entrepreneur.com had a great story about it today. And I think I loved their little commentary about this market springing up like weeds. Nice joke, guys. I appreciate that.
No pun intended.
No.
Yeah.
That was well played. Well played.
Let's see what else is going on. Cointelegram, story by William
Cointelegraph.
Or Cointelegraph.
You can do this.
Yeah,
I believe in you.
William Suberg. Singapore fires compliance warnings at 8 crypto exchanges and orders an ICO halt to sales.
Yeah. So according to this Cointelegraph story, the central bank decided to issue a warning against 8 unnamed. So yes, there are 8 of them. Which ones we don't know. So it's, you know, ICO roulette. But they apparently told them that the exchanges over securities compliance and ordered the ICOs to stop issuing tokens. So I guess process of elimination. If you stop seeing tokens, perhaps those are the ones.
Perhaps. Yeah. Real quick look at the biggest gainers and losers for the day. So some of the biggest gainers, we got Latinum X is up 132% with volume of almost 600,000. I'm going to click into this one real quick.
Let's just look at that chart. I just want to see this.
I'm just kind of curious. This almost looks like a bit of a pump. I don't know. Maybe some news came out that I'm not seeing. They're on HitBTC.
And Yobit.
Yobit.
Sorry.
So yeah, that's the top one. Let's see what else is out there. So we got Centurion up 70%, ShipChain up 57%, Gyro up 55%, and Blitz Predict up 54%. So, and some of the
let's go on the other side of things with the biggest losers
today.
BitSoar negative 25%, Ethereum with a loss of 24.55, and Skycoin, which was up yesterday, might I add, and is now down 22.42%.
Hey, hippie. How's it going? What up? Yeah, Skycoin is interesting because Skycoin was up like 25% yesterday, and Revolution One is up. There you go. Shout out.
Check it out.
Check it out. Yeah, Skycoin was up about 25% yesterday, and so it looks like today they lost almost all the gains from yesterday. So
I guess someone wanted to have a nice weekend.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I was looking at the Skycoin chart yesterday and almost looking at it in a TA fashion, and it looked good because, you know, they had a nice run up and then they had a pullback when the entire market corrected, and they've been slowly just gaining.
It's nice incremental run ups, so it wasn't huge or crazy, but then I guess,
Yeah. So, it was doing a really nice run up, very steady. The type of growth that I would look at and say, okay, I would actually jump into that. And then yesterday they spiked and they pulled down. I'm going to guess maybe they got listed on Binance yesterday. I'll have to check and see, but they are on Binance. So that's where most of the
move happened. So
that's where most of the
74%
volume came from. So that might explain it. I'll have to check my Binance account and see if Binance added them yesterday. If so, if they were added yesterday, that would explain the spike and then the pullback, because that always happens. Whenever a token gets listed on Binance, they immediately shoot up and then they're going to pull back down.
So we will look into this further, and we will have more to report.
I would say if that's the case,
makes total sense. Yeah.
If that's the case, though,
I'm saying it is because I don't know.
They might be a good buy now that they pulled back down, because if they if they continue that upward trend, then they are well on their way to their all-time highs.
And looking at the chart, they do have a pretty steady return to a similar low, but they've definitely been on a nice uptrend.
So that's what happened is they listed on Binance today.
There you go,
guys. The run yesterday was an announcement that they were going to list on Binance. So they ran up yesterday. They listed them today. So it had a bit of a pullback.
Not that we're saying run out and buy Skycoin, but it's worth going in and taking a look, check out their website, look at their white paper, and see what that's all about.
Yeah, what Skycoin might be worth a deeper look at in another video.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I mean, what is we take a little tiny peek at Skycoin.
Yep, we can take a peek at Skycoin.
So
let's see.
Crypto meets gig economy. Check out the beta.
So the website's horrible.
All right. Okay. So if I'm grading worst to best, this would probably be a solid 3 out of a 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah.
The white paper is very clearly visible. They've got a beta, again, very clearly visible, and a login to what I'm assuming is some sort of.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do more, but
it's not fabulous, but it looks like it's geared towards people that maybe do weekend music or something of that nature. I'm not saying that's what it is. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. Maybe we're doing some Uber type stuff. I mean, if I'm
tasking on the blockchain,
there we go.
Tasking. I don't know much about it, so I'll have to look in before I say. All I know is the website reminds me of MySpace.
Ooh.
It reminds me of like a MySpace account, where they just let people do whatever they want.
It is a little chaotic. I would like to see them bring their message in a little bit more, because like I said, I would guess Uber because I see a map. I would guess musicians because, well, just look at some of the pictures, folks. But it does look like an interesting on the charts. It was prettier on the charts.
I mean, their TA is great. Their chart looks great. But like I said, I come to the website, and this is where like a lot of crypto companies just fall flat.
What they got right. There's a great little help chat icon. They want to talk to you about running a smart contract for new trading. I do like that aspect. I think that's a great way to interact with your customers. The rest of this needs to be trimmed down a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Just my opinion.
Definitely needs some persona work around here, and definitely a buyer's journey.
It seems like you're trying to reach out to a group of people. So let's box that up and give a clear sense of direction to your clients. This is a wonderful opportunity to really showcase what you've got.
So, wait, I'm sorry.
Did you?
No.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and say market cap. Market cap.
I'm sorry. Am I on the wrong side?
Look what you did.
Why did it open that one? Okay, sorry.
He's grounded.
Totally
don't
wrong.
listen to him. So Skycoin, bad. Skycoin has like a computer farm going on in the top.
Can we erase that part? This is why live sometimes sucks, because it's like
totally. Well, he pushed the button, and I was going off of his click because that's what
I don't know where it went to. All right, so
we don't know where anything went.
We're on the
we are completely fucking lost. We could use some directions. We took a right at what the fuck, and now a left at where the hell am I?
Okay. So the Skycoin site actually looks good, and they got a good buyer's direction.
Yeah, they got this really cool little.
Where the hell did that site come from?
From hell, looking at it.
Now I'm just freaking lost.
Click the thing again. I don't know. What'd you do?
I don't know.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, that was Latin America. That was like the top.
Oh,
I don't even
so
remember
biggest
clicking on that
gainer apparently has the shittiest website.
No,
FYI.
Okay.
But
Boy, we just screwed this stream up.
Next.
No,
Sorry, guys.
Skycoin actually has a really good website. They got a good buyer's journey in here and all that.
No, this is
Wow.
wicked. This is wicked. So going back to the biggest gainer of the day, you guys might want to consider redoing your website.
Yeah.
Latinx, we're talking to you. So Skycoin, I am sorry. So freaking sorry. Skycoin, you got a great thing going, and let's try and help.
Yeah, so their bounce yesterday was definitely from going on Binance.
But they are unfortunately in the biggest losers.
Well, that's a natural reaction to going on Binance. You spike right beforehand and then you pull down. So but their chart looks good. I would expect the chart to keep moving up.
But in the 1 to 5s, again, BitSoar, the biggest loser of the day. Ethereum, number 2, Skycoin, number 3, with an exception that was a move on to a new exchange. Fitrova. Number 4, MSD at number 5.
All righty.
Holy crap. So whoopsie doodles.
Now that we just totally screwed that up.
Yeah. It was a dog. I saw him touch something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know what happened there. All right. Recap from yesterday. We touched on the Coinbase story a little bit. Coinbase is rebranding its crypto exchange service according to CoinDesk.
Yes. They decided to move to Coinbase Pro. So from Coinbase, they're now Coinbase Pro. So we added the PRO that makes them experts.
They're going to be able to allow users to trade hundreds of tokens directly from their wallets. Essentially, it's because they picked up a decentralized
and they will be adding direct purchase or trading for tokens in the ERC, the white Paradex will be adding the ability for them to do the direct purchase and trading. That allows them some globalization.
Yeah. So, and then Fed probe rattles Bitcoin market.
Is adult supervision coming to crypto? Yes.
I think this is more of what we talked about earlier, where the Justice Department is, they're taking a look at the trading practices and, we're going to have to see what happens with that.
So essentially, people involved in cryptocurrency have been complaining about the abuse that have been going on for months. In part, I'm going to say, yeah, I get it. And the other part, I'm going to say, guys, this is trading.
Yeah.
But, there does need to be a little bit of protection in there. So,
Yeah, just a little bit of protection. All right. So overall market cap, $340 billion. 24-hour volume is about what's that? About 20 million or 20 billion. I'm sorry. And Bitcoin dominance is at 38.1%. So
it's not the worst day I've seen in this week, but there's always room for improvement.
It's better than yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And I think we will make incremental improvements over the next, week. I do hope to continue to see the stability that I feel I'm seeing from Bitcoin. I do understand there's been a lot of drops here and gains there, but overall we have stayed in the same spot.
Yeah. Let's see. Bitcoin right now is at 7,600. Ethereum is back over 600. We're at 604. Ripple is over 60 cents at 63. Bitcoin Cash back over $1,000 at 1,070. EOS at $12.70. Litecoin at 122.
And
Stellar has had a nice gain back up to 29 cents. Let's see. Cardano's at 21 cents.
Shout out to Tron at 7 cents.
Tron at 7 cents. All right. So that's and
IOTA
at $1.53. So that's basically the top 10. Neo's still in the 50s.
Bringing up the rear. We got Neo and Dash with Monero hanging on 13. There's been some news going on with Monero, so we're going to keep tabs on that and bring more of that to you at a later date.
Yep. And, we did hear about that Verge hack yesterday.
Oh, and Bitcoin Gold. Ooh.
But yeah, Bitcoin Gold got hacked too.
That was pretty freaking
they
bad.
Got a mining hack.
Oh my God. It was just horrifying. So if you haven't heard about that, please go ahead and look into it, because that was sucky. It was not a good day for Bitcoin Gold. They did a fork to try and recover. So I just
Bitcoin Gold
I was cringing.
Yeah.
$18 million in double spend attack. 18 million. I did see that they were monitoring a specific account where there was some information go back and forth. So maybe they've narrowed it down.
Maybe.
What a mess.
I don't know. They need to get a hold. They need to somewhat get some
this right here is exactly why people are concerned. And when you see this kind of stuff coming across, of course, there's little bells going off in the back of your head, and that's natural. Anytime you're investing, you want a secure investment.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the news for the night. Don't forget,
if we get so many subscribers, he keeps trying to tell me 20,000 of them, we will be eating the proverbial cryptocurrency with Bean Boozled. Why do I say this is the ICO representative? Because even though they all look the same, some of them completely suck on the inside, much like today's biggest gainer.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you guys tonight. Have a good evening. And as always, trade responsibly.